Today's talk is called Don't Give Up, Surrender. And as always, I've got some quotes for you. The first one by Paulo Coelho. Reason lost the battle, and all I could do was surrender and accept I was in love. Now we have Marianne Williamson. Something amazing happens when we surrender and just love. We melt into another world, a realm of power already within us. The world changes when we change. The world softens when we soften. The world loves us when we choose to love the world. And lastly, we got a quote from Jim Carrey. If you give up on your dreams, what's left? So this is my favorite topic because it's a fascinating thing for me to look at myself and see the two sides in every moment. Sometimes having the will to make a choice to surrender, and sometimes not having the will to do anything else. In our movement, we are constantly talking about choice, because without choice, what does surrender look like? Well, there can be a fine line between giving up and surrendering, which is funny because I used to think, and still do, that there's also a huge difference between giving up and surrendering. Though in my personal experience, there's been lots of occasions when giving up led to surrender. So giving up is when I've had enough, can't take it anymore, don't want to take it anymore, and have no idea how to go on. In giving up, you let go of your vision. You let go of what you love. You cave to the race consciousness of common sense and what's possible. Surrender can also feel like you've had enough, can't take it anymore, don't want to take it anymore, and have no idea how to go on. But instead of letting go of my dream or vision, I open to what feels like a humbleness, what in the Native American tradition is called the hollow bone, and let something bigger than myself work through me. I offer up the how, but hold on to the vision and the dream. This is not an easy state for me, because when I'm scared, I can be kind of controlling. Ash, my wife, will account to that. Maybe that's what happens to you too. I have experienced this kind of surrender, especially in ceremony, like a Native American sweat lodge. If you've ever done one, you know that when it gets excruciatingly hot, you can't tough it out. The heat will floor you, but you can surrender to it. I have let go in a sweat lodge to the point I no longer felt the heat. I have walked across fire without a burn on my foot and not felt the heat while walking. That's surrender. But here's the rub. I found I cannot make myself surrender. I can be willing to surrender. I can make the choice to surrender, but I cannot make myself surrender. You are getting the subtle difference here? Are you getting this? It's important because it is the place of miracles. For years, folks told me, just let go and everything will be all right. But I didn't know how to let go. The truth is I still don't. But I've discovered that I can make the choice and continue to make the choice to let go and be willing to surrender to however that's going to look like. And that is the key to open the possibility that whatever it's going to happen next is for your good, and be willing to go with that good, letting go to what happens and the newness that arises from it. Anyone who's listened to me talk for a while knows I speak a lot about how we create miracles in our lives. I am saying now that surrender is a huge part of creating miracles, at least 50%. The other is choice. You must choose what miracle you want to have in your life, not what it will look like or how it will come about, but simply that the miracle that is perfect and right for your vision, your dream, will occur. You must choose to believe that that miracle is possible, but you can't make that miracle happen. You have to just open to the possibility, surrender to the process that is larger than yourself in terms of how that happens, and that's where choice comes in. When we try to get our fingers in the pie, use our will to make something happen, that's when we're no longer surrendering, and that's where we muck up the works. It's getting out of the way, yet holding the vision. For those who've been doing this for any length of time, we know that miracles are the inevitable outcome of embodying on the inside what we know will ultimately show up on the outside. But it has become clearer and clearer to me that embodiment includes becoming the hollow bone for short periods of time and work hand in hand with my choice. It's only for short periods of time that we were meant to be a hollow bone, or at least this is my belief, because we have free will and it is our job to use it. Each one of us has the individualized gifts that is ours and only ours to bring forth, and it takes our free will to choose to bring those gifts forth. This is not to say that we are the only ones that have a gift like being a great painter, but if painting is your calling, no one can paint just like you. They talk about this in writing all the time, bringing forth your unique voice. You have one in whatever field you are called to do. You have a unique voice that is yours to bring forth and to develop so that you can bring your gift to the rest of the world. Yes, you, whoever you are, has a gift that is unique to you to bring forth to the world. But it's up to you to develop that gift. Others may bring something similar, but no one can bring exactly what you have. That's why you are here. And this is where free will comes in. It allows you to choose, to be drawn, and then surrender to that which draws you. It is your free will to choose whether you will be drawn to that or not, to surrender to what draws you. I was drawn to California by the most magnificent woman I have ever met in my life. It was a risk moving here. I had no idea what to expect, but I could feel the draw, felt it very strongly, and luckily had the good sense, not common sense, but good sense, to surrender to that draw into the most wonderful relationship in my life. Is it easy and carefree? No. No, it's work and needs developing like any great gift. You don't get handed a gift and that's that. You don't bring a gift and that's that. Painters develop their painting skill. I have to develop my relationship skill. And when you love what you are drawn to, as much as I love that I have been drawn to my wife, you work at that skill like I work at that skill with love and compassion as often as I can and as often as you can. Turns out that being drawn to California, there was another reason for being here, which I never saw coming. My love of filmmaking. I didn't even know I had a love of filmmaking till I got here and lived here for over a year. In fact, I woke up one day with the crazy idea to go to film school. It felt crazy because between the expense, the time, and my age, my rational mind did everything it could to talk me out of it. But I have used my free will time and time again to surrender to those visions, no matter how crazy they may appear, and have bathed in the ocean of the miraculous. This time was no different. My wife and I are in the midst of filming a documentary, a follow-up to the movie The Secret. Some folks have stepped forward to support our dream for this movie, financially and otherwise. And some folks, and we've been filming for over 5 months now. Others, I am sure, will continue to step forward to support us in completing this film. You might be one of them. I don't know, but what I do know is that when we make the leap of surrender to follow what we are drawn and develop those skills that we love, life takes on a brand new meaning. Even in the darkest of times, life has a brand new meaning. And an ecstasy in the best of times that is higher than I have ever experienced. That's a miraculous life, and that's what's possible when you use your free will to surrender to your dream. I have. I can't imagine living any other way. But the key is that it must be your dream. Whether it's big or small, it must be yours. It can't be the one your parents wanted for you or the one you think you should do. It's got to be the one that really inspires you, juices you. And again, I repeat, I'm not talking about a dream whereby you save the world, though. If that's your dream, go for it. Maybe it's living a life of peace and quiet. Maybe it's a talent. Maybe it's being of service in a particular way. And by the way, any gift you bring is being of service in a particular way, your unique way, no matter what it is, because the world needs as many models as it can get for those who have courage to follow their passion. Imagine a world where everyone lived their true passion. Who'd have time for war? But to live that passion takes both choice and surrender. It takes making choices that might feel incredibly scary, with a whole bunch of folks either telling you not to do that or that you should do something else. Or maybe it's your inner voice telling you how crazy that choice is. It takes courage beyond common sense. It takes a really big and open heart. And you have these things, whether you know it or not. We all do. We all have the capability to open our hearts bigger than we ever thought possible and surrender to what we love to do and to be. So the balance between free will and surrender starts, as with everything else we talk about here, with choice. A choice to surrender to your vision. Give in to that which you love. Be willing to let it lead your life no matter how nonsensical it may feel at the time. My choice to follow filmmaking made no sense to me at all until the additional vision of the documentary came to me. That's when it all made sense. Discovering a love I never knew I had only made sense after I realized how much I loved what I was doing. Then it was all clear. So that's my last piece of advice on the subject. If you are willing to take the leap and choose to surrender when you are drawn to it, it will make sense ultimately in a way you never would have imagined. In many ways, my life, Ashley, and filmmaking saved my life. I would never have known if I didn't make the choice, use my choice, to have the courage to go beyond my common sense. It would have never led me here, and I would have never known the life I have now. Now, I do not want to paint a rosy garden here. I work very hard and experience all the pain and frustration we all do. I am sure an Olympic gold medalist does on their journey towards the extraordinary end result that they're after. So following what you love does not guarantee a life of ease and grace. All of the greats in any field worked beyond limits to achieve their greatness. What I can tell you is that it's worth it. Give your life extraordinary meaning. Bring to the world your extraordinary gift. Live the extraordinary life that is your birthright, and bathe in the miraculous ocean that is here for all of us to bathe in. Thank you. I love you.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God.